All right. So this is the Sci-Fi Express Lane. My name is Jeff Carroll. I'm about to go in. And today I wanted to share with you, I'm promoting for the next 15 days. I may not get 15 videos in, but at least the next 15 days, share with you the thoughts behind some of the stories in my current Kickstarter project, Cyberfunk Streetz. And the second story I want to get into is the B.A.N.G.er Brothers. And the kind of this, explaining this story is why I'm doing this whole thing in the first place, because I'm at a comic book convention. Shout out to Otaka Fest and B.A.N.G.er and his brother for putting together a banging convention. And I'll blog about that later. It's the best one. I'm explaining to people, as I'm pitching, support my Kickstarter, support this and that, put $10 down, whatever. I'm telling them about the stories, and it's just so interesting, and it's so engaging. Sometimes, I think my attribute is storytelling. So when I talk to people, I conform the story around their interests, and their listening makes me tell a more engaging story. Whether I'm talking to an adult or a young person, a black or white person, my story takes on the characteristics of the person that I'm talking to. And somewhere in that overtelling the story, I find a happy medium which allows me to write the stories down. So I was telling a young lady, beautiful young lady, wasn't because of her physical beauty, because she might not be the most physically attractive person out there, although she's gonna be in, the top, right? She's in the top of that, right? She was beautiful because of her personality. Holy moly, that was amazing personality. So she was listening, right? And so I was telling her, I said, the world is in a shift. And I said, she was 29. I said, maybe if you know the world of your father, maybe you know the world of, your generation and how these things are shifting. But men are becoming more emotional, right? Oh my God, you're getting on my nerves. Why you say that about me? And, women are saying things like, oh, you're sensitive. And men are actually feeling more sensitive and things of that nature. So when you look at that world, you may describe it as men are becoming emasculated, right? So fast forward to the future is what I speculated about. The future of this sort of emasculation of men, right? And probably particularly men of color in America, I think even the brown community, the Latinos and Hispanic community are experiencing in this a little bit, where just men are, developing more sensitive expressions, So, and we call that emasculation, but I call it becoming human. There's a lot of intolerance with it, right? It's embodied with a lot of intolerance because, as men are changing, there's some women that like the changes and are ready and embrace it. And there's other women that be like, damn, why are you getting soft? Why are you so sensitive? You know what I'm saying? So I brought all of that into this story, and I speculated about something in the futuristic world, right? Where men are the ones that stay home and raise the children, and women are the ones that go to work and support the family. And men consequently become the gold diggers, right? And in this story, it's also impacted by futuristic technology. Oh, let me explain the name. So B.A.N.G.er Brothers, B-A.N.G.E.R.S, right? Bangers, and then brothers is just a regular word. So where did I get B.A.N.G.er Brothers from? So I was talking to my boy Bilal, and we always finish each other's sentence because we like on similar wavelengths. And it's really cool. So when we talk, I can go like real far because I don't have to explain anything. And so I was telling him the name of the story, which is the most insulting thing you could say to a man, or not insulting, most emasculating thing you could say to a man. And it's a name, so it's, you say, you bitch ass nigga, and I had that as the name of the story for a long time. But after talking to my brother Bilal, I came up with the initials B.A.N.G.er, bangers, bitch ass niggas. So that's what banger stands for. I didn't put it in the story. You'll never know it. Okay, so that's the end of it. So these two brothers are, or this story takes place in an emasculated male world. Now, the other thing that impacts the story is the future of technology. We're in a quarantine right now, and while my characters aren't wearing masks, they are in this post-quarantine impacted world. And what is a post-impacted quarantined world? Well, dating had already started becoming online in terms of the introductions of people. You had Facebook, you had social media, but you quickly moved to a physical date. You did not move, you did not stay virtual. You didn't stay on the internet long. All right, I like you, you like me. We had a few phone calls, we did a video, I see your pictures. When are we going to sit down and talk? All right, when are we going to go out to the movies? I need to catch your vibe, because that was always the part of it. And we had this big term called catfishing, when people weren't honest about who they were. So the physical point in dating became paramount. Now, can you imagine, we got VR gloves, we got VR glasses, and they even have VR suits. And just like with the gloves, there's sensors in there. There's sensors all over the body. So imagine you logging on to a website instead of going to the local ale house, right? Or bar or whatever, or nightclub. You log on to a virtual bar, a virtual nightclub. And when you dance with a person, you feel their sensations just like you were there. Now, of course, a lot of this technology can be used for sex and porn, but I ain't going all the way into that. I'm just doing, the regular nightclub stuff, and how will that impact male-female relations? And of course, this is still in an emasculated world. So that's really all it is to B.A.N.G.er Brothers. Where could I go, in the future? Well, this is just one little short story of how things are happening. And that's, it's all well and good. But I think, technology, just to speculate a little bit about it, is going to have people just date people online. They may figure out the sexual component, and you might even be able to have virtual sex with somebody and never meet them. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, you might not even like them in person, because there's more than just people than just what they look like and what they sound like. And I don't know how well the digital sensations will be. So you might still be able to augment that with a filter. You may be able to change who you are. In my story, they do some of those things, but the focus is really on the main characters, right? Because I can't have them experience sort of everything. Maybe if I wrote a longer book, but this story is long enough. It's appropriate. But yeah, just imagine if all of those things start impacting our male-female relations. Some of my kids already like in my classes to talk virtually as opposed to talking physically. And text me, don't talk to me. And they say these things to their friends. And to be honest, there's people that, our technology in my generation was the telephone, right? There were certainly people that I liked to talk to on the telephone that I didn't like to talk to in person so much. You just call me when you get home and we could talk, because, you know, there was things that they did that was like annoying, you know what I'm saying? They would talk too long, they would touch, they, you know, breath, whatever the heck they had. There was physical elements about them that took away from the enjoyment or the tolerance of their conversation, right? So I'm not even a millennial. There's people that I like, just text me, mother. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got time to talk to them. They don't know how to get off the phone. They don't know how to wrap stuff up. And I'm pretty sure that there's guys and male friends that I would rather just talk to as opposed to hang out with at a bar. And so I wonder if more options make these things more, make these things easier or more popular, just because people need alternatives. And they be like, yo, I ain't got time to be meeting with them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't go to the party, I just logged on. Like last weekend, my cousin had a funeral, and I drove 4 hours up to the funeral to be there, you know, and then, you know, like I want to be there for him and be there for the family, and everybody's wearing masks. I'm like, this is the bull crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a mask, they wearing a mask. I ain't seen family in years. I don't know what they look like, you know, and it just felt like, damn. And then one of my cousins is in California, and she was like, I'm watching it online on Facebook. I was like, damn, I didn't even think of that, because I don't know if my presence there made any kind of difference. However, you know, there were some people, for the few people that knew me, and I knew them, we embraced. But for the most part, wow. And I didn't go to my cousin's funeral, Tony, in 2012, for a variety of reasons that I still stand by. But I probably would have logged on to the funeral had I had that option in 2012, you know? So it's just interesting how technology and virtual world are going to impact things. Right now, the B.A.N.G.er Brothers is my main story, but would I think of another story about, you know, this type of situation? Yeah, I mean, I think one of the other inspirations for the B.A.N.G.er Brothers was I saw this Black Mirror episode with Anthony Mackie, and the two guys was gaming, and they both gamed with, one I think gamed with a male character and one game with a female character. And I can identify with that, because when I do Mortal Kombat, I love the moves of the female characters as much as I love the male characters. And sometimes, depending on a person's character, when I'm fighting them, I may choose one of the female characters. But do I always choose a female character? No. You know what I'm saying? But I love Homegirl. It does the reverse kick in Virtual Fighter. You know, so it's just a move that I don't think people have a defense score. You know what I'm saying? Everybody uses pretty much the same character, so I can beat people if I use somebody different. But anyway, in this Anthony Mackie episode, Anthony Mackie and the dude embrace, and they go virtual sex, and they clearly know each other are men or whatever. And it was just a weird thing, and I'm like, you know, conspiracy theorists, and even the little conspiracy theorist in me is like, man, they putting this gay stuff on us. Why they always gotta go gay? I'm like, come on, you're right. In my mind, I'm like, damn, you know, that's a question that needs to be answered. But yeah, why they do all of this? So anyway, I just was thinking about that. So that's about it. Thank you. I got under my 15 minutes. Please check out my Kickstarter, Cyberfunk Streetz. The B.A.N.G.er Brothers is one of the stories in there. I know you will love it. I know you'll enjoy it. It'll make you think. And I just want to share my inspiration. So look on the links below, like, subscribe, and share, but also comment. I want to hear your comments. All right, peace.